there, guys. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Megan. I am the blog author of the website Skinny Fit Delicious, where you get lower calorie, gluten-free recipes that are easy and delicious. I'm also a nutrition practitioner, and today I want to talk about ways that you can naturally reduce your cholesterol. I, for one, am somebody who has been struggling a lot, especially after I turned 35. So within the last 5 years, I have personally struggled with this myself. And I don't know if I have all the answers, but I can give you guys some suggestions on what you can do if you're struggling with the same things that I am when it comes to cholesterol. I will tell you that every single person in my family has high cholesterol, and they've had heart disease. My father had a heart attack at 36. He wasn't overweight. He just ate very poorly. And my mother had 6 bypasses 4 years ago, and she never had high cholesterol, and she never had any of the classic symptoms of heart disease. So taking your heart seriously, taking your cholesterol seriously, and what you put into your body seriously is so important. I can't stress that enough. Like I said, every single person in my family has been affected by heart disease and high cholesterol. And I am now battling high cholesterol myself, despite following a healthy diet and exercising daily. So your family history does play a big role, but there are some things you can do to help control your cholesterol and prevent some of those things from happening to you. So first things first, what is cholesterol? So cholesterol is actually not all bad. Your body does need some form of cholesterol in it. It's actually produced by the liver from the food that you eat. So there are different types of cholesterol. Generally speaking, most people are familiar with LDL and HDL. LDL is known as the bad cholesterol. HDL is known as your good cholesterol, or the cholesterol that you want to see higher. There is also triglycerides. Triglycerides are another form of what is called bad cholesterol. It just happens to be circulating in your blood. Now, I will tell you that, most doctors don't want your cholesterol to be over 200. That's usually the number that they throw out. But you have to look a little bit deeper. You have to look at what's your LDL, what's your HDL, what's your triglycerides. So typically they want triglycerides to be below 150 milligrams. And then with LDL, somewhere between 70 and 100. HDL, they want that to be as high as possible. Anything above 70 is considered great. So now the reason I said you really need to pay attention to your breakdown of cholesterol is because a lot of times doctors will look at only the total cholesterol. So for instance, my total cholesterol is, I think, 210. But that is partially because my HDL is like 110, something really high. Every time a doctor looks at my cholesterol, they go, oh my God, your HDL is like the best I've ever seen of anybody. So I never have to go on any type of cholesterol medications or anything because my HDL, I've been able to keep it higher. And why is that important is because HDL actually eats up the bad cholesterol in your body. It goes in and it actually removes it, which is great. You want that HDL to be super high so that you can get that LDL lowered. And we'll talk in a minute about how you can get that HDL higher. The other thing I want to mention about cholesterol testing, okay? So if you're somebody who is in a situation where your cholesterol is higher and your doctor is really pressuring you to go on cholesterol-lowering medications, I really urge you to ask your doctor to get a blood test that shows the breakdown of your LDL and your cholesterol in greater detail, because there are other types of cholesterol that also make up your total cholesterol number. So things like VLDL. Most doctors will not test for these things if you do not ask for them. So it may not be as dangerous, but your total cholesterol might be swayed by that number as well as some of the other numbers. So before the doctors tell you to go on some type of medication, make sure you really ask those questions, be knowledgeable, and just push to have that extra blood test done. And if your doctor is really hesitant and really pushing the cholesterol lowering medications on you, go see another doctor. There are just too many doctors available these days. You need to be really armored with answers. And I really stress not going on cholesterol lowering medications, or otherwise known as statins. I stress this so much to you guys. Do whatever you can before you go on statins. When I was in nutrition school 2 years ago, the doctors that were teaching my classes, the stuff they were telling us about these statin drugs and how doctors are paid to get more patients to take them, and the things that they're doing to our bodies was freaking scary. So here's the thing about statins, and I just want to tell you this from a very personal perspective. This is not something that I've shared on my blog at all or on social media, but my father has dementia and it's pretty advanced. So why am I bringing this up in relation to cholesterol? So you may have remembered from the beginning of this video, I mentioned my dad had a heart attack at 36. When he was 36 years old, he had a heart attack. They put him on, guess what? Statins. And statins are now linked to brain function decline. There's so many studies, tons and tons of studies that are showing that Alzheimer's and dementia are linked to long-term statin use. I can't tell you guys how hard it is to see, especially your parent dealing with something like that. So please don't let a doctor talk you into going on cholesterol medication unless you absolutely have to and you've tried everything, because it does cause brain decline. If you do go on a statin or are on a statin, definitely make sure that you are taking a CoQ10 supplement. CoQ10 is a very important function. It's an enzyme in our bodies that helps produce energy. It exists in every cell. It helps pump blood into your heart. The problem with taking statins is that it reduces your body's ability to produce it. The one thing with CoQ10 though is you need to eat it with fat because it is fat soluble. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about what you can do to naturally reduce your cholesterol. So first thing is diet. Obviously, what you eat is going to be processed by your liver. Every single thing you put in your body, medications, water, drinks, food, anything is going to be processed by your liver. Your liver is like the powerhouse of your body because it does everything. It has to break it down. So the big thing with cholesterol, and I can't stress this enough, is getting enough omega-3s. So omega-3s are a type of fat. And so a lot of times people are trying to lose weight or they're trying to eat healthy. They eliminate fat from their diet because they still think that fat is evil, when it's not. I mean, having fat in your diet is actually shown in studies that people have less risk of getting diabetes, they manage their weight better, and they have less heart disease. But the trick here with fat is you have to balance it because most fat is high in omega-6. And if you don't have a balance of omega-6 and omega-3, then that's where you get into trouble. So you need that omega-3 balance. So what things are omega-3? Salmon, pumpkin seeds, hemp seeds, chia seeds, flax, all high in omega-3, okay? So if you're not getting enough of that omega-3, get it in your diet. Fish oil, I don't know why doctors are not recommending it because not only is it high in omega-3, it's gonna help bring down inflammation, which so many of us have in our bodies these days. So taking a daily fish oil supplement is a must. If you work with me and you're one of my clients and you know that that's something that I stress. If you are taking a fish oil supplement, make sure it's a quality one. If you need a recommendation, drop a comment below and I will tell you what my recommendation is. If you do take a fish oil supplement, keep it in the refrigerator. It needs to be refrigerated. A good one should be in the refrigerator. If yours doesn't require refrigeration, then it's probably not one you should be taking. As a side note, if you are vegan and you don't like fish or you don't do any type of animal products, algae supplements have omega-3s as well. Okay, so the other thing is extra virgin olive oil, extra virgin olive oil, extra virgin olive oil. I mean, I think we've all heard it over and over again. Mediterranean diet is the king of getting heart disease, under control. So add it where you can, substitute it. I love coconut oil. I've seen a ton of benefits in studies around coconut oil, but I've not seen a lot of research that shows people eating coconut oil or coconut products with a family history of heart disease. And I will tell you that when I have increased my coconut oil intake in my diet, I have seen my triglycerides and my LDL immediately go up. So there's something about that my body does not love. With extra virgin olive oil, mine does not do that. So add it where you can. Add it to your eggs, add it to your meals. Obviously you don't want to go overboard and you don't want to overcook it, because if you overcook it and get it to a really high temperature, you're oxidizing it, which is also going to do damage to your body and raise your cholesterol, which I'll talk about in a minute. Okay, garlic and onions, put it in everything you eat. And I know that it sounds so weird, but they have sulfur in them, and sulfur is something that naturally detoxes the body and removes and cleanses. So add those things to everything, okay? The other thing, increase the soluble fiber foods. We talk about high fiber foods and high fiber diets, but I don't think people really understand the importance of them. They keep you thin, they keep your stomach flat, so you don't get any of that belly fat. They keep your insulin under control. They keep your digestion healthy. And guess what? They cling to cholesterol and they wipe it out of your body. So the more soluble fiber you can get in your diet, the better. So, guys, you need to be thinking about every single day, how much fiber am I getting? I hate to say it, but it's one of those facts of life. As you get older, you need to be getting more and more fiber. What are soluble, rich foods? So a lot of times people think, carrots or cauliflower are great fiber foods, and they're not. They're really super low in fiber. So really high fiber, rich foods are going to be peas, lentils, black beans, lima beans, artichokes, broccoli, Brussels sprouts, raspberries, avocados, peas, bran, whole wheat products, if you can do whole wheat. If you're gluten-free like me, you can't do those things. Barley, again, another wheat product, and then oatmeal. Some sneaky ways to add fiber to your diet. So earlier we talked about omega-3 rich nuts and seeds, right? So chia is not only high in omega-3s, but it's also high in fiber. It's got 5.5 grams of fiber per tablespoon. That is a lot. And then flax has 3.8 grams. So anytime I make my oatmeal, you better believe I am putting a tablespoon of chia seeds and a tablespoon of flax in it. So not only am I getting those omega-3s, I'm also getting that high fiber. Get that in your diet, sneak it in, find those sneaky ways to do it. All right, some other things. So I talked a little bit earlier about the role of oxidation with cholesterol, that when the walls of your arteries of your heart start to build up plaque, what they're realizing is that's actually from oxidation of the cholesterol. So what is causing this? Inflammation. So inflammation, which causes oxidation, which causes plaque form up, is definitely a high risk. So if you're somebody like me who has that risk of heart disease in your family, you really have to think about how can you reduce the inflammation in your body. And remember, inflammation is also caused by healthy things like exercise. So you have to be careful about that. So antioxidant rich foods is one thing that you can add to your diet. Green tea, high in antioxidants. Dark chocolate, so 80% or more cocoa or cacao. Turmeric, cranberries, blueberries, basically any berry in general is high in antioxidants. Tomatoes as well. And then last but not least, stress reduction. I can't stress enough, no pun intended, but stress causes inflammation and oxidation in your body. More and more people are dropping dead every single day because of stress. So take that seriously. The other thing is, in regards to diet, is avoiding certain foods. And I think most of us, for the most part, know what foods we need to be avoiding. Trans fats, anything that is hydrogenated, that is surely going to cause higher cholesterol and plaque buildup. Okay, so look at those food labels. If it says hydrogenated anything, don't put it in your body. Sugar, alcohol, refined carbohydrates. So if you look at the back of a box of crackers or chips and you see like 20,000 ingredients and you can't pronounce half of them, put it back on the shelf. Again, it's going to cause that cholesterol buildup. And then probably a lesser known one is caffeine. Caffeine is shown in studies to cause high cholesterol. So if you're somebody who's going for the coffee cup, 5-6 times a day, you need to be cutting it back to about 1 cup. So no more than 6 to 8 ounces a day of the caffeine. And you have to count in your green tea as well. So if you're getting a ton of caffeine, remember that's going to raise your LDL as well. All right, some natural supplements that you can use or try to help reduce your cholesterol naturally. And I mentioned one of these earlier, it was fish oil. So if you do fish oil, remember it needs to be one that is a higher quality, that's refrigerated. And remember, if you're vegan, you can do an algae supplement. The other thing is vitamin B3. Now, I don't like recommending B3 vitamins alone. You should really do like a B complex vitamin because they all work together. So if you just take one of those vitamins, usually it doesn't do a whole lot for your body. But getting a B complex vitamin in your diet that's high in B3, hopefully about 1,500 milligrams a day, that has been shown in studies to reduce LDL cholesterol by 25%. So just getting those B vitamins in your diet can make a huge difference in your cholesterol. The other thing, I mentioned this earlier, garlic. So if you're not somebody who likes to eat garlic, you can take a garlic supplement. 500 milligrams daily. Garlic, again, increases our HDL, the good cholesterol that eats the bad cholesterol. Another thing that I personally do is I take activated charcoal supplements. So I know it sounds totally gross, but it's really not. I started taking these last year when my LDL started really climbing and I couldn't figure out what else to do. So I started taking these. They are natural diuretics. So it will pull out any cholesterol from your body. It will pull out toxins. I actually started using charcoal toothpaste as well. And my teeth feel like the cleanest that they've ever felt in my entire life. I swear you not. So if my teeth feel super clean, I gotta believe that that activated charcoal is gonna be doing some help with my cholesterol as well. I haven't had my blood work done since I started taking it, but I will be curious to see what it does. Some other things you can do, cypress and rosemary oil. Those two oils are, very cardio supportive. They improve circulation. The cypress oil in particular is another diuretic, removes toxins and, all those things from your body that get built up. So that's another thing that you could try. I would recommend though not doing the cypress oil or the rosemary oil in addition to the activated charcoal. You want to be careful because that would be a lot of diuretics. Then last but not least, you want to make sure that you're increasing that HDL as much as possible. So I mentioned earlier, getting those omega-3s, eating a lot of salmon, those things you really need those high omega-3s to get that HDL up. But another thing that gets your HDL up and elevated is exercise. So exercise is great for increasing good cholesterol. So you do that good exercise every single day and your HDL is going to start to climb. That HDL is going to eat away at that bad cholesterol that's roaming around your body. All right, guys, so that is everything that I want to share with you about natural cholesterol remedies. If you have any more questions, leave them in the comments below.